New Year! And welcome to Talking with ILM Practitioner, volume number 9. I feel really very in the right moment to do this live today, as this year's numerology is number 9, I believe, and this is the 9th interview I'm doing on the January 9th. So welcome. For those who I'm meeting for the first time, my name is Sahara, and I am ILM method practitioner based in Toronto, offering 101 in-person treatments, as well as here and there some movement classes online mostly. And today I have a beautiful special guest, and Ksenia Opria. And this also timing-wise feels very right that she is my guest today as a first guest of this new year. She is my fellow practitioner course mate from the very first course, the basic course, advanced course, on and on. But she was also one of 3 women who organized for the course to happen in the first place. So if it wasn't for her, my entry to ILM journey would have been very, very different. So I feel very special that she can join us today. And hi Noah, Happy New Year! And I am going to invite her, and I hope it goes as smoothly as we did when we did and so nice I get to connect with her today. Yay! Wow! This was so smooth, Ksenia. Wow, we're so professional.
Sahara, it's all you who made me so, who helped me.
I don't know my old videos, but sometimes I will be like, what to do with all the technology.
Yes, it was a moment of confusion, but look, we are here.
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much for joining.
Thank you so much for inviting, and actually for also inventing this amazing format. I find that it's very special. Not in the worldwide scene, but I think for ILM, I didn't hear about such an initiative before.
Oh, thank you. First, please, I know I already did the mini intro, but please introduce yourself, who you are, where you are in the world.
Yeah, actually, my name is Ksenia Opria, and currently, I'm sitting in Warsaw, in my at home, and I also live and work here. But I was born in Ukraine, and I came to Poland many years ago. I think it's already 25 years ago since I'm here. And it led me, I think that this experience of immigration is also bringing a lot of skills of adaptation, but also risk taking, and I think it's also connected very much to intuition. This helped me to survive a lot, not to survive, but I mean, you know what I mean, like to figure out, I think, basic things for life. But it also brought me, I think it brought me the different opportunities also to change the way my ways kind of in between. So for the past, I think 14 years, I am working with movement. I was introduced to the contact improvisation, and since then I was dancing, and then I started also teaching, and this is also how I found Ilan Lev. And actually we were in the same basic course, right? And so I'm now the practitioner of Ilan Lev, and yeah, I can say many things, but it's usually difficult for me to name one, because there is, I think, my life is a bit of a puzzle, like not a puzzle in the big sense, but in the sense that it different pieces that are maybe not so straightforward connected to each other, they start to be connected at this point of life.
And how did you get into movement practice in the first place? Because I didn't realize it was only 15 years ago. I mean, only, like, it's still a long time ago, but like
Yeah.
what was Ksenia before?
Yeah.
I can't
Yes,
imagine you
well,
not moving.
I came to study. I think I was dreaming about theater for when I was a teenager, and I was also, as a very young teenager, I was I had an experience of being in the group, in the like theatrical group. We were doing performances, and I think it left quite a deep sense of maybe meaning, but also work in the group. So I really remember these moments when we were coming out in the end. I mean, it was a school, like little theater, right? So it was, but it was still very important. So I remember these moments when we are coming out to the stage and like saying thank you, like after the performance, or like these moments when we're standing just behind the curtain and it's about to be started. So I think it influenced me a lot, and then I actually, when I came to study in Poland, I was studying. My parents decided that to be an actress, it's very unserious. so so I started to study economy. I was, and I finished it. I was also good in mathematics, so somehow it really worked for me. And but it never was my real passion, or real, real curiosity was not there for this. So yeah, actually, after I already finished and I started working actually in the corporate environment, I came across this. It was kind of a theater, but it was more based on the like physical improvisation. So that's how I, through this theater and through this improvisation, I got to the contact improvisation, and then it all started immediately, very fast. I realized that actually all the 10 years between the when I finished my school and the moment of meeting the movement, I think I was searching for something that would really ignite my curiosity. And I was already like saying to myself, okay, it's not gonna happen. I'm just broken, and that's it. but yeah, it was very fortunate. Yeah.
Wow. I didn't know that. I didn't know this part of
Yes. Yes, it's a very
Wow.
strange moment. I think it was a moment of searching, but it just
Right.
lasted for a very long time. Yes.
Wow.
I don't know, did I answer your
And
question?
yes, totally, totally. Yeah. So to Poland, you moved because of the schooling.
Yes.
Ah, wow. Um, and was the like I remember in our course, like good half of my like the people in the like the students were like how did you meet, how did you know about the course, and everybody was like because of Yaniv. And I remember my like I don't know Yaniv yet because he didn't join the first meeting because of his story was just being born, and like
Right.
and I assume that your first interaction or meeting of the ILM was with Yaniv. Is that true, or is that, am I
Yes,
just imagining that,
it's
or
totally true. Actually, I think that the funny thing is that I never experienced the method itself, but I did have, I mean, it's not that I didn't experience it before the training. Like I didn't have treatment or a movement class, but I did
Oh.
already by the time that I wanted to study it. I was having a lot of different experiences with movement teachers and dance teachers and contact improvisation classes, and I felt that like it's all like it all of them make sense, but somehow they do not allow, like something is missing, or it could be even more of something that I didn't know even what. And I think that in the workshop of Yaniv, which happened here in Poland at that time, I don't know how many years ago, 12 probably, or 13 or something. I remember that the way he was bringing the material was literally allowing me to fly, but not to fly in the ambitious way, like not in the way that I just fly and somebody is carrying me around, you know, and it's just so beautiful and gracious and whatever. But it felt like from within of me, it suddenly opened so many possibilities to move, that I felt that it's, you know, sometimes this very old cars that you have this string to the engine that you need to pull, and the engine is so I remember that I remember that moment, that it was like boom, and like the engine was really going, that I felt in a way that I can move in this way forever. Like suddenly I had such a freedom on so many different levels, and so many different options and multi-directionalities. Many things opened at once, and it was not a logical process. It was not by explanation. It was just by so it was very special. Actually, I didn't know, he didn't even mention it, and I came to him after the class and I said, what was it? Where did you get it from? I want more of this. And he said, it's ILM, and I had no idea what does it mean. Is it a name? Is it a tool? Is it a place? Is it a book? You know, I had no idea, but I totally knew that I want more of it. And what was your story? If you didn't come through Yaniv, how did you know about the method? I don't know this.
Well,
am I allowed to ask?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I did a dance intensive, and I've experienced the demonstration, like quickies, in a big studio, and so many, and it was like a show. It was so exciting, but at the time I was like this with a dance, and I didn't think of myself enrolling to the course necessarily, especially also my dance career was so full that I feel the course wasn't available in a way that I could, without pausing the dance career. And when the intensive format came, I'm like, maybe this is possible. And before this, I taught Pilates for 10 years, but I never loved it.
I will not tell it to anyone. It's secret just between you and me.
Okay, I entered not knowing so much about Pilates. Like I didn't love it and I didn't have a wow moment, but I needed to have a student visa to stay in Canada. And at the time, I was curious about it enough. And there was one method that headquarters was in Toronto, so I could apply for student visa there. So I got certified at the end, and it was my way of collecting my income. And also, I learned a lot of good tools like teaching and speaking and verbally. But in terms of practice itself, it didn't fully sit in. And I taught it for 10 years, and I was looking to find a way that's felt connected to me. And then I suddenly thought about, oh, maybe that method I tried. And then that's when the course was being introduced. But I thought about it because the New York course was being promoted at the time, and there was intro course, and already the dates was set, and I was already preparing to enroll to the New York course, and then it got postponed. But then I was thinking, well, somehow in my mind, my heart was already in the course, and the Polish course was already available. So I just switched gears and okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna do this. It's like it felt very timely that I needed to do this now. So that's how. But yeah, so that's kind of my short story of entry. But I'm curious because I didn't realize you haven't even gotten the treatment before you decided to do the course, yet alone to create a course in the same. Like that's very ambitious. Of like,
Yes.
of saying, okay, I want this method. I'm gonna make school out of it. Like, how did you come across?
No, it was very clear. I think that as you just said in what you said just a minute ago, that it was in your heart. I think that this was a big blessing in a way, this opportunity and this maybe clarity also, in that this is it, that I don't need to overthink it and to tell myself, no, it's against all the logic and I have first to go and to study it myself, and no, it's maybe someone will. No, it was very clear. It was very clear, and I think also easy, in the sense that it was not something that I spent a lot of time on. I think the sensation and the experience of it, because I think this is something that is still very alive in me, that I think out of all the things that I do and all the things that I could do, I love movement, I think, the most. So this is a blessing somehow, this clarity.
And you and because you work with the team of three, amazing team of three of you, Aga and Dorota. Like, did you work before, or was it a new collaboration, or?
We actually knew each other from Contact Improv, and I think it laid a very I don't actually want to call it solid base, because solid base, I feel that it's something really stuck, kind of a beton or something, that you cannot go through somehow, and once it's broken, it's broken. So I think it was some other material that was forming us together, and I think it was the same with all the rest. Sometimes I feel that the first thing that comes, the people that come, these are the people to go on. Like I didn't have a moment to think, should it be someone else? And I think neither of us did. We were just all together. I think it actually happened in the workshop of Yaniv that we organized together, and it was for advanced CI dancers. And in this workshop, we suddenly sat together, and I said, "Okay, that's it. It's enough. We have to do it." And we were all three of us there actually organizing this workshop. So it really kind of happened. I think it was the right moment with the right people. That was the story. Yes.
As you know, we just the advanced course this past December together, and I was getting completely nostalgic of the fact I'm like, if you three didn't start, none of this would have happened, and I just was like, I just couldn't believe how magical like that is.
Yeah. Yes, I think it also, I feel that this is the, in a way, the beauty of it, that, and I recently even thought about it, and I said it, I think also to Ilan, that in a way it was so crazy also of him to agree. You know, he in a way he didn't know us, and it was starting something completely new with people that he didn't know. You know, there was, I think there was a lot of unknown. So actually now in the advanced course, I suddenly thought, wow, I think sometimes when I hear him saying something really crazy, I think, no, this is too crazy.
Right.
You know, but then I think about things that are happening because of this craziness, and I think that it's totally needed. Like, it's needed in the world generally to be able to make these decisions, and to take risks, and to move forward, you know, to make mistakes. I think it's also, for me, very much connected to the practice itself. Um, I, I see it talking to each other.
Wow.
Yeah,
And
thank you for asking.
no, thank you for everything you share, and that's really, it sounds so simple, yet the the fact of like you went for it, it's just so inspiring and
Mm.
encouraging.
Yes, actually, I feel that there is a lot of things that can be, um, and I also feel that we all have this capacity to go for things that are calling us, and only then we have this opportunity to make these things happen that do not exist in the world yet. And it's, I know that it's tricky because there is also a lot of layers to it, but somehow um, but somehow also I feel that the world really needs like more of this, of like taking craziness to the next level and taking it together. Yeah.
Speaking of crazy, like I just always adore you as this like like crazy multitasker. like and I will elaborate because I'm like because for the first module, this is the first time we met, and I remember you greeted me with such a warmth of like just you were amazed of like how like far I was willing to travel to come to the course, and at the same time I was looking at you and like you had just a newborn baby, you were joining the course as a participant and also organizing, and all of us were new, and like you were taking such a great care of us and your baby and like participant. And how does Ksenia do this? Like, you see,
that,
like
that's
if like
very,
all care of like all in one, it's like you. And how do you do it? Like, what's your secret recipe for that?
that's very, very kind of you to say that. I feel it was very crazy of me. If I would be now in my position 7 years ago, I would say no, just stay at home and enjoy your moment, you know. But I think I was not thinking about. I hear myself, and I start to understand that in all this talk, I'm all the time saying that I'm not thinking that much, but and I'm quite crazy. But no, okay, I will try to to talk myself out of this.
No, you
Mm,
are very thoughtful. It's just that I'm just yeah, like it's quite like it's a lot of the gutsy mood of I'm like wow, and then it's not like you're not managing. You're totally like all the
yeah.
puzzle pieces always feels like it's fitting in a crazy way.
Yeah, it was a lot of things. It's true. I remember how we are packing the car to go, and there is, I don't know why, but we decided to take the basin for my son. So even though he's like so little and you can just hold him and watch him like this, I think it was for sure it was overwhelming, like overwhelming. I'm not any superhuman to be able to do all of that and not being overwhelmed. I think I totally was, and it was a lot. And there was many moments also, I think, that personally, if I put aside all the functions, the extra functions that I'm doing, I think it was also sometimes frustrating, because I couldn't just go and just enter and practice. So there were many layers, I think, to it. But more than anything, I felt, and I still feel it every time that I come to the training, that there is some sort of friendliness or warmth in the atmosphere, in the people. So I felt each time that even though I don't know, there is in my personal story, there is a baby or there is a something, there is always something, but there was, I think, some acceptance also of the other people to have this situation. And I think there is many situations that are coming inside the trainings that I feel this atmosphere from the people who are also holding it, from the side of the group. So I think that it's maybe some aspect of the Ilan Lev that is not so visible, like maybe the community or the spirit, or friendships that are developing inside of this practice, that I personally value very much. And I find it one of the core, I think, things that I still do it, or I feel good in being inside of this group of people, which you are also part of, which is very wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I mean, I'm sure with the CI, the Contact Improv group, and also for me with the different various dance group, like it is not so unfamiliar maybe to be in a group. And yeah, somehow this Elon Live method, and especially in Kikov, I must say, like it just have maybe it's all the cakes, Ksenia, maybe it's all the cakes.
Cakes, exactly, 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock cakes.
Jokes aside, it's just such a one, like really the bond I made there. It's something really really special. Yeah. And yeah, I'm also curious. Like, what's cooking in Ksenia's practice at the moment? What's exciting you? Yeah, what are you playing with?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was recently, I think I'm experiencing it for a while already. I think what happened in the very beginning of my coming to this method is that suddenly this language and the movement itself became the story. Um, and I find that, for me, I think my curiosity and my maybe also focus is somewhat coming also to the nature. I find that imagination and the way this method is using images, but also somewhat relating to the outside world, is so touching me somehow, that I since a long time I have this secret passion of observing the nature, but specifically I think before it was water, and now I found a very, I mean, it's not that I found, I just finally got there to the Baltic Sea, and there is a very beautiful, it's kind of a protected area, that it's not allowed to, many things are not allowed, but mostly yeah, I know. What shall we do? It's a protected area, so a lot of restrictions, but in the same time it has the moving dunes, like it's the sand dunes that are still, I mean, they are moving less and less because they are putting the forest all around, but there is still a very I would call it like wild place with a lot of sand and a lot of wind. I don't know how is it in other places, but this specifically, I think whenever I'm coming there, there is a lot of wind, or there is at least few days with a lot of wind, and I find it very talking to me somehow. I think that from this water images that I used before in my also other, like in the other movement practices, I mean in dancing, but now I'm super obsessed with wind, and actually sand also, because it also creates an opportunity to observe the movement of the air that goes through the materia, through the something physical, like how do you call it? Yeah, materia, right? That goes through and creates forms, but in the same time it continues to go. So it's this meeting of the flow and the form somehow that is very special. And because it's also every day there is a different weather, there is a different qualities of the sand. So and there is also a place where the sand is meeting water. So it's many things that are meeting each other in the way that can be noticed, or somehow also touched. And I also I did also a few experiments that are also very very inspiring, like kind of, because there is also landscapes of this sand. So I just sometimes, and when I work with touch, and when I receive a person, I think sometimes these images are very helpful. Like I think about it as also finding the directions, or also letting go of knowing the direction, because sometimes when there is a dune and sand is dry, but it was before, for example, rain, or so it has a layer of the dry sand, and then if I touch it, the avalanche is going down, but there is a lot of sand that is going up. So it like one touch is creating different sorts of layers, directions, and also I imagine that when it's coming with a, like, it's not it's not like one, you know what I mean? It's not like I throw something and it just falls. I find that it falls in many steps, and there is a like this movement from within that is also allowing it to go in the opposite direction. So I'm really appreciating this this let's call it, not referring only to the movement as a movement of the body, but also of the movement that is happening in the outside, and kind of a little bit taking less ambition in being the this human that is like moving. And I don't know, I find it very relieving for myself to to work with not only myself, but I also think that I still somehow find a way to treat myself. I think this is also something that I'm still in the process of finding it out, how to come back to myself and to treat myself while I'm treating another person. So this is also something that I'm busy with, and I know that every time that it happens, it really brings to both sides the moment of relief or some kind of discovery, or some people feel it as warmth, some people feel it as cold, but I find it that it's usually the moment that the patients are also referring to after the treatment. And maybe also another part that I think is happening now in my practice is that I don't know if it's part of the method. I wonder, maybe you will tell me, but but I feel somehow that there is also a part of, I don't know, compassion or empathy, something around meeting the other person, like with touch. I find it every time that the person is coming and it's the first time we meet, and somebody is able to lay on the table and just give her or themselves in, and I can come and we can trust each other. I find it very profound moment. I don't know, it happens to me, that I also get emotionally touched, but I don't find it as a moment that I produce somehow, or that I look forward to, or I design, but I think that it happens sometimes, and then I think that there is also a lot of things that it carries inside of it, kind of, because if I work with a body, sometimes it can be, the approach can be that this body has to be, I don't know, something has to, be able to let go, has to, I don't know, be moving, or has to whatever, and then this moment that I notice it, and I'm able kind of to be compassionate towards it, somehow it's, I feel it creates so much space inside of me to actually see the person that is coming, and to embrace also this moment.
Maybe our connection is little. Ooh.
Yes, totally.
But, what a beautiful share. It's when you were, I totally relate to everything you said, and also when you were describing about the sand and the wind, I was getting goosebumps, and I'm like, well, if I'm just talking to you and getting goosebumps, how wonderful it would be to be on your table.
You're so kind. It's really
No,
so
I
special.
really mean it.
Thank you. And do you think that this, how do you, maybe you can tell me, because I really wonder about this, like the moment of meeting a person that is coming to you. How do you navigate it? Do you, like, can you say that it's like, how is it for you?
Wow, that's a big question. But maybe, I mean, I don't know if this is it's probably not the answer, but it's the answer I can forward now, is that I think, especially reflecting back from when I first started as a student, and what has changed is exactly what you said, of just the acknowledgement of meeting a person and not meeting a body with a lot of hope, and whether it's from the person or on my ambitions of wanting to improve this and that, or to leave all that and just simply to the person each moment, I think really shifted for me to open a lot of possibilities, and it made this each moment very special, not just at the beginning, but also the middle and the, like, to allow the change to be part of the time we share. And also to, I think this active listening for me is very important, and it to continue to meet, not just the beginning or at the end, but to continue, allows me to feel that share the treatment, that it's a collaborative work. It's not me imposing on some ideas and some craziness, but we are in the journey together. And it's better to be in a journey with somebody than alone. So I think like it's a bit more, actually with that recently when I was visiting Tomek, we saw Wicked. The movie, and it was not really our first choice, but it kind of was a default of what we saw, and it's this like friendship of going through a journey together, and it's very like theatrical, but still it kind of gave me a point like yeah, like the treatment is the journey that I get to be with and be a like a partnership with the person. To hopefully for the new perspective updates for the better feeling. But yeah, so I don't know if I answered your question, but
Yeah, I think you did. I think my question was not clear, but you dealt with it very good.
I know it's like we all are all the time meeting this like unclear and clear clarity. It's always like
Totally.
yeah.
Totally,
Yeah.
but also I find it so tricky somehow to explain something that is an experience,
Yeah.
to explain something that is sensations and touch and process and meeting and a change, everything what you're saying, right? Like I find myself very often a bit crooked in trying to do that, but I'm also happy actually to find this language, because I do see that the method itself through movement also changed also the way I think and the way
Yeah.
I see and the way I build stuff in my brain. I mean, you know, did it happen to you also?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, many things that
Yeah.
was a problem before, or I don't know. I'm trying to find some example of it. I think that even this smiling, I remember that in the beginning it was so difficult for me. I was like, what is it all about? Just smile. Like, it needs to be a reason. It has to be something. Like, we cannot just go around and just smile. Like, or, you know, I have a problem with a smile. In some places, you can really got into trouble if you do that. But no, I'm joking. But I did try it also in the real life, not only on the table or being next to a person, but also in the moments that I was frustrated, when I was tired, when I couldn't deal with the situation that is happening. And it's not about smiling to it as a kind of act of smiling, but I think that somewhat about physicality and coming to some place, or changing even the perspective that of what is happening at the moment. I find it very clear, simple and straightforward tool, like for everyday life. I don't know, relationships, solving problems, solving conflicts. I mean, it doesn't mean that it solves. It's not a pill that can be. It's not a pill for everything, but I do feel that it can have it can be used as a everyday as an everyday tool. And I think there is more of this, even the craziness that Ilan is talking about, and I sometimes feel that I'm reaching the moment that I start to say to myself, no, it's too much. But then I say, okay, maybe this is my life now. This amount. I mean, if I can put something aside, it's also great. But in the same time, if I can say, okay, I just move through it. I move with it, not against it. Then I think it can be very, very helpful. It helps me.
Oh,
Oh, it all
well,
sounds it's too wonderful. Okay, let's find something that is not that is not good.
well, I feel I just want to be respectful of the time. Maybe I would love to do this again, like round two sometimes.
Yeah, like in 20 years something.
Yeah, or in 2 years maybe, or 2 months.
Yeah, we need to go
Yeah.
through the whole cycle and then we can come back to it.
Um, but before we wrap this, I just want to first thank you for coming on to this live with me today. And is there a place people can find you to come for your treatments or other things to reach to you? How can people get to you?
Wow, I cannot understand. Are we out of time? We are finishing.
We're not out of time, but I think we've been on for like long
Right.
enough. So
Wow, totally. I'm with you. But I just wanted to say that the time passed really fast and that it was my first time live, and it was wonderful to be here with you. It was really such a pleasant experience. So
yeah,
so I'm
yeah,
I'm super happy to have this moment with you. And well, for me, I'm in Warsaw, so you can, I think whoever wants can just reach out to me directly. And
on email, or do you have like, is it through the Elon Lev webpage where people can book with you, or
I think that the best will be to write maybe here on Instagram. I'm also on Facebook, but I also have my private phone. I'm really old school with this stuff, but I will get better by the time we meet again in 20 years. I promise. I promise to have all the all the stuff figured out. And I will know where to find me. And have a website and and an Instagram working and a calendar and everything. But for now, I'm really low profile, but I'm still here.
yes? Wow. And
Uh,
we meet again in February.
yes, we do. Actually, we do. And I wish you to have a good time before that. Tell me, do you have another live soon?
No.
Ah, okay. I thought maybe you want to say it when you are meeting the next person.
I see. I don't have it with me now, but I think in a few weeks. Yeah, but thank you, Ksenia. This was really special.
For me also. Thank you so much for inviting and for making this happen.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
See you soon.
See you. Bye. Bye.
Bye.